Okay, so Eliza would have pulled you away at some point in like after dinner
Mhm.
and asked you to go with her to the veranda.
Of course. It's been a long time since we've just sat out there and chatted.
Yeah, I feel like it might be a little bit like old times.
Didn't
Okay.
realize how much I'd missed them until they were thrown back in my face.
Yeah, it's definitely been, I don't know. I didn't expect to feel so much nostalgia during this visit.
Hmm.
But yeah, she'll like say that as you guys are walking out, I guess. And then she's probably gonna like, does the veranda have like supporting poles or something? I guess
I think
chances.
the picture looked like it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's gonna like lean against one of those kind of like not dramatically, but dramatically for Eliza. Like
Yeah.
um and just kind of like look out at the sky for a minute. But then she's gonna like turn to you and be like, I got you something for the holiday.
That looks like a deer in headlights.
Eliza also is like giving off like you can tell she's weird, like she feels weird because she's never gotten gifts for anyone before, really.
Hmm. And
Like,
Babette always did, but they were often passive-aggressive gifts.
yeah, yeah. So anyway, she's gonna pull out like a little, very, very fancy silver box and open it, and inside is a like chain necklace, and it's got like a glass pendant on it that is shaped like a Rubik's cube. And she gives it to you. Uh, I don't know. I saw it and it reminded me of when we first met, and so here.
I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope you don't feel offended that I definitely forgot this part of the holiday. It's
Oh,
been a
no.
long time.
Well, I never do this, so I'm sure you weren't expecting it. Sorry.
And I mean, you do know me. Getting a gift from me can be sometimes iffy, so my presence is your present.
And it's the perfect present. She's
Oh,
gonna
Jesus.
go back to
Sorry.
kind of dramatically looking out at the sky for a minute.
Sorry, drop my phone.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, and Babette will probably, while you're dramatically Hanu staring at the sunset, um,
Yeah.
Babette will kind of just be looking at you.
She's like, after a pause, um, I have been so happy since you joined us, but I have things felt weird to you? I don't know how to talk about this. She's like awkwardly kind of stammer.
I mean, we did experience 40 years in the future and travel to Rot and
No, no, no,
fight a bunch of ogres.
not that kind of weird. Like, I want to hold your hand all the time. Kind of weird.
And Babette just kind of looks down at her hands and then looks over at Eliza's hands.
Eliza's
I
gonna
think
like panic on the inside.
I think I do. And she's just shifting uncomfortably. I think I do kind of know what you mean.
Eliza's gonna like take a deep breath and just like center herself for a second. And then she's just gonna like grab your hand and like kind of basically just get kind of closer, but like still kind of like nervous style.
Yeah. And Babette is going to scoot over on the bench I've decided she's sitting on,
Yes,
and
we're
with the hand that Eliza isn't grabbing, pats beside her.
okay. She sits down. Um, yeah, she's gonna definitely like knowing Eliza, she wouldn't have much to say right now because she's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
She's mostly like kind of panicking a little bit because these are like not regular emotions for her, and she's also got no idea how to really express like personal things.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's like staring off still.
And hmm. And I think that Babette, while you're staring off, is again just kind of looking at you half expectantly, half also in thought.
Which I feel like has happened before. So
Mm-hmm.
um okay, after a while she's just going to look at you. How do you feel?
Come on, Eliza, that's a pretty broad question. Shifty
I,
eyes.
I mean, I know I'm supposed to be good at asking questions, but I don't really know how to ask more specifically without dying.
Right now, I feel like I should be saying something snide and doing my usual shtick. But whenever it's the two of us lately, all my drama and gravitas goes out the window.
Yeah, um, I definitely feel like, I don't know, I get a little bit foggy sometimes around you. I worry about you. I know I don't need to, but I'm okay with that kind of distraction. I think it's
Hmm.
something I can get through.
Your worry about me is what is used to keep me out of too much trouble, so
Well,
it's
now
good that
we
you're
get
back. Otherwise, I don't know what kind of trouble I'd be in.
that
I
does
much prefer
confirm.
the trouble we get into.
Yeah, now we get in pretty interesting trouble, but at least we get to do it together and keep each other alive.
Hmm.
Mostly intact.
So far, I've got all of the fingers and toes. Not that it would really matter if I was missing one.
No, you would still be beautiful without fingers or toes. You would look
Blush.
weird. She's gonna like lean her head on your shoulder.
And Babette will lean her head on your head. And
Babette.
then she'll
Oh God. They both sit straight
Yeah.
up.
Babette, where? Oh,
Hey, Sale.
Hi.
did I?
What did you need, Zale? As she's like adjusting her hair.
Are you enjoying the holiday?
Yeah. You two okay?
Yeah. Yeah, we were just chatting. Actually, I have gifts for you guys. I should
Oh.
probably.
Oh, that's what I was coming to find actually, but I knew I was actually gonna give you gifts, but did I interrupt something?
She's just gonna look at Babette for a second. Babette's like,
Oh no.
"I'm out."
Sorry. You guys cut out for me. What was said?
I said, did I interrupt something?
And I said Eliza's gonna look at Babette for like a second and kind of gauge what her face says that I should say.
Her face says both, "Oh my god, take me away from this," but also like, "Get the fuck out, Zale." It's very conflicting.
Eliza is just gonna look at Zale and be like, "It's okay. We can pick up later. Let's go give gifts. We can, yeah." And she's gonna grab Babette's hand again and just kind of like start walking back.
And as you start walking back in, if Zale continues to walk back in, she's gonna
watches you
yeah,
for a little
she's
bit.
gonna stop. She's gonna stop and kind of pull you back out, and then she's gonna glare at Zale.
Oh,
There's a smirk that rises.
wait, you pulled me back out?
Yeah,
Oh,
she pulls Eliza. Yeah,
okay. Yeah, Eliza's gonna. She'll probably just stop at that point and see
yeah.
like what you're trying to do.
And Babette is just. She's kind of gonna stand there and start to say something a couple of times. And then she's just kind of gonna hold both your hands and look at you and say, "You coming back into my life was, I think, the best thing that could have happened to me. And I really do hope it's the same for you."
The day I met you, day of my life, and the best thing that ever happened to me.
And she's gonna big hug.
She'll boop your nose when she says duh.
And she'll boop your nose back and give you a big hug, and then, while still holding your hand, walk back into the party.
Sorry.
Having heard you guys originally come out, just kind of like originally just has been hiding right away from the corner. She's like, "Oh shit, Eliza's there," and she knows that I smoked, and she's like, "Holy shit!" She just pops out of a bush.
Eliza's so not concerned with that.
She's just like, okay. After a while, she'll creep out and then like wave down Zale. "Can I come in now? Does she know that I'm like out here?"
Actually, I think she's a little bit preoccupied.
Okay, I need some like mints or something. I'm really.
So, Hanu,
what?
This is one thing I wonder.
Yeah.
When are they gonna get together? Because I'm not the one that's only seeing it, right?
Shh.
He's outside.
No, yeah, she's just like patting your cheeks and like giving you a little nuggie at their own pace. Okay, it's a little bit different when it comes with childhood sweethearts, and they don't even notice it yet.
But yeah, I was looking at that, but I was just like, wondering, was like, are they gonna kiss or what?
No, it's just at their own pace. Listen, hand holding is the closest thing you're gonna get to some commitment right now. Okay.
That is probably true, knowing Babette.
Yeah. Anyways, like seriously, I need. Do I smell okay?
How long were you at the bush for?
I was enjoying the scenery, and then I heard them come out, so I just went inside here. I have my blanket though, so don't worry. But I don't. Elijah's
Okay.
gonna smell this right on me, and I'm not gonna be able to hide it at all.
No, that's definitely good. Oh, and by the way, thank you for keeping Willow company.
Yeah, no, no problem.
It went well.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah.
I think she enjoyed the gift too.
And she's a tough cookie.
Yes, she is.
Just don't with you too. Don't push it. A little bit at a time. Okay.
But I haven't. But that was at least acceptable to give a gift.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that was a little bit too she
really,
goes
that's what I
against
read in the book, though.
she goes against the grain. Give her something very unique.
Uh,
Something that speaks to her and that
hmm.
speaks to the stories of what she thinks that people should be. Whatever. Goes against
How
social
about a
norms. Whatever.
bladed guitar?
That now you're thinking. Yeah. Now you're singing to her soul.
Like a one that she hit people with in case
Yes. Okay. Now you're starting to think the way that you need to be thinking in the world,
Well,
of
it was more
romance.
the case of I don't usually just go to default when I'm in relationships, but
No, you should. Just don't care about Anna.
on principle because I don't know if say give a sword to another girl, she's gonna like that too. Uh,
Mm.
so start with the same things and then work
Yeah.
my way up to okay, they like blades, cool. I'll leave with that.
You should be able to read that right off the bat, and she'll dip in, just seeing used to. So, what do you think Babette's gonna try to do to rebound with that gift that she didn't give her?
Oh man, I think she's gonna need help, honestly. Nothing but bet.
No, I feel like she's gonna probably know the answer, but freaking the fuck out until she actually can buy the answer. So
Oh
until
yeah,
then, we're just gonna totally. Yeah, she coughs a little bit. Oh my god, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. You got any men, seriously?
yeah. Uh, a little bit.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna stay up here for a little bit longer. Okay. I'll
I
catch you
actually have
guys
to
up
do
in there.
give their gifts actually. So I guess they'll help them. Maybe give a puppet an idea.
I think she might stab you.
I hope she doesn't stab me until I give her a gift though. And then she can stab me.
I feel like you should probably give the gift to Liza, and then she can give the gift to the pet.
Nah, I'm good. I'm not too afraid of Babette.
Okay, well those were some very famous words right before you got stabbed. So
Listen, Wander already almost instant killed me with whatever he just did to me. So I mean, maybe I'm just living life on the edge a little bit.
there you go. Have fun. She'll pat you on the cheek and go back to laying, bringing her blanket away from the bush that she was hiding in and just lay out on the grass again.
Yeah, and he'll walk in and try to locate Babette. Hey, Babette,
Yes,
are you gonna stab me?
I see no reason to at the moment, so no.
At the moment, gotcha. Keep that in check. I have a present for you.
What? I live in Avale. Why have I forgotten this? You guys don't even know these traditions. What's wrong with me?
I don't know. Well, I've just kind of heard about it, so
I'm
kind of had to
sorry.
think.
I promise
But
everyone will be getting a gift from me when we return to Hearthvine.
that's fine. It's okay. I know, everything has been kind of definitely weird and not so thrilled for you past couple of weeks with us or months.
Yeah,
So it's okay if you don't really. But we thought, or at least I thought it'd be nice. And I was thinking about what you were talking about. The kind of little bit of stuff you can open up with us, and I thought this would be a good present for you. And he will open up his pack and bring out it looks like a letter, like a scroll.
She'll blink a few times, take it, and look at it.
And on it is a deed he's working with owner of the opera house in Hearthfine in Santa de Gil. I heard that your dream was to be an actor before it became, who you are today. So I thought, maybe if you have the time or wanted to relive that dream, that you should have a proper place for it. One that you
I'm
own.
gonna just roll something real quick. Yeah, no. Well, thank you. This is a very impressive gift. I will need a potentially a little bit of time to figure out exactly what my plans would be for this. Thank you. And she's gonna take the scroll and she's kind of gonna like walk back out onto the porch. Very calm and collected. She looks like she didn't know what to say, but once she gets back out onto the porch, she's just kind of gonna sit there and stare like absolutely shell-shocked.
I'll glance up from her spot, looking at you staring off dramatically into the distance in shell shock, and like, you hear a really loud whisper, "Psst! You should totally stab Zale right now."
Honestly, I don't think that would help. If I thought it would help, I might try, but
Oh, okay, you're actually doing good. Okay, yeah, how are you feeling actually?
I'm feeling incredibly overwhelmed.
Yeah, well,
Eliza, like, would
I
have
got you.
You could see then that she was like there was just like a little veneer of calm and there's just absolute panic right now.
Eliza was like going to get gifts, but she's gonna like walk up right now and just be like, "Okay, I have gifts."
No. All right.
Um,
Uh,
so yeah, she's just gonna gather pretty like everyone around, and so Eliza has never gotten gifts before and is really bad at it. So she got everybody like everything's really really like nice and high quality and like fancy-ish, but everybody got like the most cheesy Christmas socks and scarves. um so hold on, I have pictures.
Hell yes.
um but so she also though got Hanu like a random assortment of really nice teas, and she just like kind of threw them in a bag. So
hell
like
yeah.
No tissue paper or anything, they're just like in a bag.
yeah. And then hold on, sorry. Zale's socks have little wolves on them. And she got Zale like a fancy journal.
Oh.
Like I don't know. I picture it like blue with like gold patterns. Oh, here we go. So the scarves.
thank, thank you very much. Actually, that's
Hell yes.
really appreciate that, Eliza.
Fuck yeah.
she also got Arthur a pack of cigarettes, if that's a thing, or like tobacco, whatever the equivalent is.
Hell yeah,
Tobacco.
cigars.
So
All these
perfect.
scarves and socks, just imagine them very fancy and relevant to this holiday and not Christmas. But yeah, like super awkward, especially the scarves. And then I don't know if my dad's going to show up, so I want to say it now just for reference, but she wouldn't have technically told anyone. But Eliza, so she got her mom like a nice necklace also, and then she has a gift for her dad, and it's an envelope, and inside she's made like a fake coupon, and it says, one ominous trip into the woods to meet a mysterious witch under mysterious and unexplained circumstances. And then it's it's stamped redeemed.
Wow.
That shade.
Oh, that's amazing.
Kind of
That's a that gift.
Yeah. She like channeled your energy.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So hopefully he shows up and I can give him that.
Oh, that's amazing.
But I came up with it and I'm like, it's too good. I have to. But yeah. So I think that's. Oh, and so like Rue got 2 scarves, and one of them's like really pink and cute, and the other one's really dark. Because I was like, I don't know when Lib is showing back up, but she's got one too.
I love it.
Like everybody's is kind of like awkwardly customized to them.
After that, she'll give you a very warm hug and graciously take the tea, and then after everybody's being all warm and homely and all this other stuff, she's just gonna look to Zaya and be like, I was promised a sword fight happens in Alvalian, like, holidays, and it hasn't happened. Can I just, like, stab you with a sword outside, bro? Let's fight.
What? Oh, what?
I don't know, I thought that was a tradition in Alval, always with the
I
dueling
mean, we can
and stuff.
spar if that was
Okay, yeah,
what you
I
wish.
want a sword fight. Let's
Eliza's
go.
gonna turn to Hanu and be like, Hanu, I'm pretty sure and then she's gonna like air quote, grass is making you hostile.
You know what? This actually does happen. I usually thought it happens with alcohol, but no, you're right.
And
Oh,
speaking
no.
of kids, I thank you very kindly for these. It's very thoughtful. I actually have a gift for you, Eliza. And I was thinking about it for a bit. I trying to tell you something of that probably you enjoy, so I got you this. And he also got you a journal, but
That's awesome.
with on the journal, if you open it, there's a cool looking monocle, almost like the cool like detective ones that you see back in kind of like the 1800s,
Yeah.
and
Like,
written.
sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. Written in really nice handwriting on and kind of printed in there. Kind of looks like it was stitched in there, but very nicely. Was Eliza's Detective Case Files as the title.
Fuck yeah.
Aw.
And each page as you flip through it is categorized and split up so you can write down your evidence and certain in the right procedures and ways and everything.
Oh my gosh. She's gonna
I
like
love
smile
it.
really, really big and then give you a big hug and say
Oh.
thank you.
Hell yeah.
You're welcome.
But it's gonna be like a really quick kind of like, because she's still really awkward.
Yeah. I'm not used to hugging people, but oh my
Yeah.
goodness, I'm so happy with this.
But yeah, she's very like her heart is very warm.
I'm glad you liked it. I was thinking a lot about everybody.
That's
The
wonderful.
so I think I mean I have one for you later. I'll just tell you later. But yeah, It's nice to actually kind of think about thoughtful gifts. I actually haven't done that, so it was nice.
It was interesting. I really tried, but I don't know that this is my forte.
I mean, we all have to start somewhere. And
Yeah,
usually,
I
practical gifts are honestly the best to give.
yeah, I just hope my gift for my wife wasn't actually that bad. He just looked so dejected after he had to talk with Honor. He remembered that moment. It's like, shit.
Listen, it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes you make yourself a fool when it comes to matters of the heart. We've all been there, one way or the other.
But I was
To
literally
be fair,
making her like an axe guitar.
Yeah, you should have went with that. I've been telling you axes and swords this whole time for months on end, and
Well,
now
it
you
wasn't gonna be
realize I was
finished
saying the right
until
thing.
it wasn't gonna be finished until after we came back. That's why I was kind of upset.
Well, sometimes you don't need to rush things, okay?
Well, I felt rushed. I didn't know he was fighting her over.
Never. She'll grab you by the cheeks and just like just pinch them. Don't rush things, okay? It might have been a day late, but I'm pretty sure she would have really respected being late instead of anything else.
Well, I was
Make it
gonna
come
actually
from the
get to give her.
heart, okay?
I was actually gonna give her both. It was just.
She definitely would have wanted the axe guitar instead.
Yeah.
I think maybe that the flower was great. You have to ease into that, okay? She'll look to everybody else. Don't make this mistake, okay, guys? Don't.
Looks to Eliza fucking about that.
Eliza is like kind of awkwardly looking away.
Mhm.
He's like, "Oh, what's going on with the rest of the party?"
Well, all right. Well, we'll let you go back to hosting the family and all that other stuff. You two. I was promised a sword fight. Let's go outside, so.
Uh,
Eliza's
you,
gonna
you,
face palm.
you were kidding about that.
I have a lot of energy right now. I only just realized it.
Okay, but we know what happened last time we had a
Yeah, now
sparring
honestly,
match.
I feel like I'm actually getting better with swords, so I just want to practice. Yeah, so.
Okay, you're not gonna try to
No,
inflict
I'm not.
wounds me again,
No,
right?
I'm not. I trust.
Mm.
Listen, all my family gatherings growing up it always
Alright, let's
involved
go.
a sparring match, okay?
He's just like,
Just-
listening, he's just like already grabbed his
Yeah.
sword.
yeah.
He's
And
like,
she will actually stay true to her word. She's very well behaved.
alright. Even after he probably beats you.
Yeah, she's more focused now. She was all over the place. She got the feeling that she just wanted to have the sword fight this whole time, which is why she's like, egg the bed into a fight. It's not working. Fine, I have to egg you into a fight. Let's go.
No, I mean, after a little bit, probably getting a really good sweat out.
Yeah.
So kind of at one point, we'll like kind of put the sword down, kind of lean on it. I mean, you're actually definitely getting better. You weren't lying.
hmm
I would say probably your footwork needs a little bit more work.
Yeah.
It's
Getting
kind of easy to offset you.
getting used to my land legs. It's really awkward.
I mean, yeah, definitely if this was a water fight, you definitely had me beat. But
Yeah.
I mean, you getting substantially better last time, spot on.
Yeah, I'm usually not used to swords. More of a pole arm type of person.
Yeah, I mean, with swords, it's not much about. I mean, with polearms is really about accuracy. With swords, is more about speed and accuracy.
hmm
But it's also about your footing.
Yeah.
Honestly, sometimes the ground can be difficult, especially
Mhm.
as you maneuver around. But actually having perfect footing will actually lead you to being a lot more precise, especially with a sword.
Sometimes precision is good, but precision won't really work if the whole thing is chaotic. You just got to roll with the punches after a while.
Exactly.
See,
Flow with it, like water.
exactly. Look at you, just like your relationship, okay?
I don't get. Okay, this is one thing. Okay, he's like picks up the sword and he's just like how to like swing it and like his swordmanship is like fucking perfect. But he's like, I can do these things: sword fighting, freaking shooting something, making something, figuring out like lost knowledge. But when it comes to relations, I feel like I'm shitty.
Well, that's because people are the most intense mystery you'll ever find.
But it's frustrating. I feel like.
Listen, I had so many years to be figuring this out. You're trying to do this in like a span of a hot second. So it's gonna be frustrating, but don't think too much of the end result. Just focus on the emotions and that you get just by uncovering those small pieces. It's not
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
know.
perfect, but at least you need to remember it fondly.
That's exactly how he feels. And he just swings one last time and he puts his sword down again and it's like, yeah, I know. Am I getting better at least?
Oh, you're improving a lot.
Ugh, okay. I don't know why. I feel like I improved a lot with you guys recently. I feel like I'm not as awkward or I feel like I'm definitely getting more of a better read
Mm,
with you guys. I don't
you,
know. With Stay, I feel like I overthink things.
yeah, it's gonna.
Or
That's.
if I just was normal, I would have been fine.
Well, yeah, it's gonna always be like that. I can't really tell you that it ever stops,
Mm,
but it will dial down significantly.
yeah.
But also remember, you are in a new place, surrounded by a bunch of new people. Now you have a lot of eyes on you. You're acting as best as you can in those situations. Oh,
Yeah, no, I've been. That's also the other thing I've been thinking about too, really, was. I don't know. I don't know, I don't feel like I deserve any of this, honestly. The recognition, the fame. I don't feel like a hero. What everybody else wants me to be. I know it's something we have to do. I know it's to save the world and to bring peace. We have to be fitting those shoes. It's just, I don't know, I don't feel like it.
I think that's what shows that you are a hero. Legends and heroes, they step up and strive to accomplish the things that allowed history to go on.
But what have we accomplished though?
I
I mean,
think
sure, we saved the Griffin's perch, but I mean, any kind of venture could do something like that. But as I read a lot of the history, I've been reading a lot. And when I was in the future, 1983, I read more about the world, what happened in those 40 years. It didn't change anything.
at least right off the bat, I think there's a lot of things that we changed behind the scenes that people will never know about. That's where the heroics is, not the
I know,
fame
but
and recognition.
I don't care about my legacy or my recognition. All I want is to end this cycle. I don't know. It just feels like we always end up in a cycle. Might not be us today, but other people like us in the past. Other people's like different timelines. Other people's in the future. They keep on repeating this cycle of heroes rising up when the world's needed, and then sure they save it, but what do they do after? Nothing. It's always nothing. Sure, they might build a school, or they might start a new technology that might advance the civilization, but no values are left. No absolute, not, no absolute change. No breaking of the cycle. And
What cycle are
I
you
don't want.
talking about? There's a lot of cycles that exist in reality. Which one are you speaking of right here, right now? So I know we're on the same page.
I don't want the cycle that we save the world and it goes back to shit again
I mean, are you trying to create
after
a
we're all gone.
utopia? What is...
I don't know. He kind of like plops the sword down and lets go of it. I don't know. There's a storm of emotions in my head right now every time I think about this. I don't know why I feel so conflicted. Why I feel so.
Because you're trying to take on a task that no one is supposed to inherit by themselves. Sure, heroes fight and strive to change the world, but the world never changes with them. That's one of the biggest things. And even if they do, there's gonna always be someone who isn't satisfied with the end result. There'll be new problems. A new cycle always starts. So you need to narrow something down. Because right now you're trying to hold the whole world. And that's, I feel like, what other heroes felt too. We don't know what heroes of the past wanted, what their goals were. We know what history wanted us to remember of them. So unless we understand the past, we really can't break anything. Because how do we know we're not just repeating that mistake or repeating that victory?
I hope I'm not. Sorry. It's stuff I've been thinking about for a bit.
I understand the frustration. And I don't have answers for you. Even if I did, I don't think I would be able to voice them out. But, yes, history repeats itself because some things never change. We just need to find those small changes and set them in motion. We can't change the world needs to do that. We can help jumpstart it, we can be the catalyst, but we won't be able to do any of that stuff. The future generations have to take that torch. We can lead them, we can show a path, and hope for the best, but it won't start and it won't stop with us. We have to guide. Or so my... As she hesitates the longest moment, like trying to figure out how to put things into words. That is just honestly what an oracle was originally supposed to be. Pualimana of the Hermit was supposed to be. We guide. We're a lighthouse here. We can build so many more lighthouses throughout history. But unless you shape the world specifically, that is the surest way of becoming a tyrant that there is. Aim to inspire. Aim to create change the smallest ways, because sometimes the smallest stuff in life means everything to certain people. Not everyone is going to want to have these grand goals. They just want to have a good life. And they want their families to have good lives, their generations before, after them, whatever the cycle is. But actually, I've just rambled on. I actually forgot the point of what I was talking about, huh?
No, you were on point. You know, he's kind of like standing in front of you, not kind of looking back, kind of just look up in the sky. You know, when I first came to my emotions, I think at one point I did hate the gods. Because I guess my logic side of it was thinking they had the power to do a lot of things, or even they can get themselves involved directly, give the power to other people. No, we're one of them. It's just, I don't know. It felt like we're definitely dealt a dirty hand. The more I think about it, all of it, the more I realize that they did it for a reason. Because anybody else they probably would have chosen probably would have not fit up to the expectations. I'm not saying that's a cockiness, I'm not saying that's what we do as well. But they must see something in all of us.
Yeah.
Some reason why they brought us all together.
Yep. Just enough chaos in order to stir things up that need to be stirred, and enough initiative for us to try to at least make the change for the better.
Hey, honey, if I can ask you a favor,
Yeah.
if that bloodlust takes me over, and you see no way of bringing me back, could you kill me?
She takes a deep breath, lets it out. I will do what needs to be done.
Thank you. The only one I could ask for, I think everybody else would be hesitant.
Didn't ask that.
So, I assure
And
you,
I'd rather be you the one to kill me.
I assure you, hopefully we can prevent it from going to that point, but if that does come to the case, when I slap you back awake from into the land of the living, I'm gonna have a few stern words with you, okay?
Yeah. Just... I don't know. I feel... You know, I haven't talked about it much. I feel the pull It has, even now. The bloodlust. And what I said to Rue was true. I did not lie to her. I said it was getting easy. But not entirely. It I think the beast inside me, it's the best way to describe this. It loves it. The carnage, the blood. And it fucking scares me.
Guess that's what the training you'll be taking under the Grey Wolf will go over.
I hope so. I haven't gotten a letter yet.
Right now, everything sounds intense. Everything's screaming because you don't know how to dial that volume down, or even with that noise, you don't know how to parse it together and hear what needs to be said from all that.
Yeah. I hope it goes well.
But I do want to get this solid between us. When I say I will do what I have to do, I'm gonna make sure you don't hurt anybody, but that means make sure you don't hurt yourself before. She'll flick your nose. That means getting you out of this mindset, okay? So, come on. Let's go for another round, okay?
And while that's happening, Babette is going to find Zarmin and ask if he can help her find something in the garden.
I'll get Zale to finish up cleaning this up, I guess. Okay.
And
Follow by that.
yeah. So she's looking for pretty rocks and a good stick. And while they're kind of walking around looking for these things, she's kind of going to turn to Zarmin and say, why is it that all of you have just accepted me into your group? You all seem to have such noble purpose and are such good intentioned people. And I mean, I've broken up marriages, I've lied, cheated, and stolen, and that was before I even moved to Hearthvine. So, what is it that makes you keep me around?
I mean, have you lied, cheated, or stolen from us?
No. But
Well, in the Coterie Coast, we always have this thing of everyone around you is family.
family seems so incredibly important to you all. I just don't understand what made you think that I was a good candidate.
I don't know, you were the first one to really show up amongst the townspeople when the airship crashed. You were friends with Eliza. You were even quick to even hop on helping us face some ogres and hill giants.
Well,
I mean,
as Eliza
after
will tell
some
you, I am
point,
dramatic.
yeah, but after some point, I think you realized how helpful you were at some of those points, right?
That is true. And that's just enough for you guys to bring me into the fold.
Should there be more, or
I guess I'm just so used to distrust. You work in the industry I've worked in for long enough, and you eventually just assume everyone is out to get you.
that sounds like a bunch of extra work to me.
It'll save your life. But for some reason, those rules don't seem to apply to you. Not you specifically, but all of you.
Well, when you surround yourself with good people, it's what you attract.
Does that mean that I'm a good person then?
At least around Eliza.
Instant, like, tries to hide it blush.
Because I haven't seen you really do that much bad since she's was around you, so I mean.
She is the one who makes me a good person. Zale is buying me a theater. It's just,
Hmm.
I never would have thought I'd get a gift like that.
I think I may have mentioned it to you, or may not have, but I was actually gonna to like cachet too.
Damn, double gift.
And she just is like, she's starting to warm up to this idea, but there's still that little bit of panic.
No, it's okay.
It's just all very sudden. I'm used to being with people for maybe a couple of months and then leaving because that was what my contract was. It's been so long since I've had any genuine gifts or interactions, to be honest.
You like it, or
I don't even know how to deal with it. It's been almost 10 years since Eliza and I parted ways, and I really didn't find anyone else. Didn't even bother looking.
sounds like you should hold her close.
I think I will. And I think I've got enough rocks. So,
Yeah, I was curious why you didn't ask Eliza. But okay.
it's you will see. And when Babette gets back to the house, she's gonna go like upstairs and find the craft room. I just am assuming that there is one. And she's gonna make a little wand out of the stick and all of the rocks. And she's
That's
gonna come
cute.
backstairs and she's gonna, hands behind her back, come up to Eliza. So I know I said I didn't have a gift for you, but I may have improvised a little something. It's not as nice as this necklace, and she kind of touches the necklace. But I hope you will appreciate the thought behind it. And she hands you this little wand.
Eliza's
I
gonna
think it'll keep fairies away.
she's gonna take it kind of like delicately because it's handcrafted and just be like, you didn't have to get me anything. I didn't I didn't expect anything. But thank you. This is beautiful and perfect. Kind of like you.
You stole the words right out of my mouth.
Summer just
And-
nods and goes back to the kitchen and continues playing.
And I think that there's definitely just going to be that moment of like, I want to say more, I want to do something, but I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
That awkward shuffling between the feet, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah. Unless somebody like decides they want to, oops, bump into one of us.
That's more the case of so and Honey are definitely probably at that one portion now after that
Yeah.
talk of getting to that intense sparring moment, like kind of focus
Yeah.
where they like start actually kind of sweating. So like you see outside like Cell probably is just in his kind of like almost like the tank top of his shirt, and he's like steaming from the workout of freaking battling Hanyu, because Hanyu's surprisingly more dexterous now.
Angie
Harder to
cleric.
hit.
Uh,
Yeah.
Every single time I get hit, I all of a sudden am dodging for some reason. You're like, oh, but she's able to attack at the same time, but she's dodging. What's going on here?
Huh. That's actually impressive. And it's more of a he definitely gets in more of an intense workout where
Yeah.
he's definitely by the end of it like it's sweating. And he has a pretty good calm modifier. I think Han does too.
Yeah, we got
right?
the same one. Yep.
Yeah, so like they go at it for a good like hour of just
Yeah.
like straight intense sparring.
Yeah. Afterwards, as probably our minds are empty, she will just pat you on the shoulder and be like, a lot can change in just one sparring match.
What can?
New developments. So whatever you have on your mind right now, observe it.
I want to kiss Wisteria.
Oh, okay. I mean, you can. Wait, don't blow up the things. I'm pretty sure Kelly was really adamant that things would blow up. Like, so please, don't. I think Eliza doesn't want her house to be blown up. She gives you just a little nudge and pats you on the cheek.
there's a smirk of mischievous.
Yeah. But seriously, though, we observe these things and then let them pass, because those are just infinite possibilities that of things that may or may not happen. Well, it's good to know of extremes. I feel like we can maneuver around them. We just have to get more bizarre footwork that the world doesn't know what it's looking at, right?
I did too.
Alright.
By the way, I bet you like 10 gold by the end of this next week, they'll totally be like kissing.
I have a feeling whatever I say, you're going to like try to push this way further that it actually goes in your favor, so I'm just gonna enjoy whatever happens, but sure. Does or doesn't happen, I will be glad to them all, okay?
No, I hope they come to a natural conclusion.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
To see them together. Honestly, I think they really do need each other.
Yeah, they do.
No, and our future is probably gonna get bleaker and more dangerous as we go on, so.
Yeah. You have to find that salvation and hold on to it.
Yeah,
A lifeboat. This
exactly.
chaotic sea.
In this fucked up world.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I saw that in the movie theater when I was running by, and I was like, that's a fucking cool line.
Yeah. She's just zones out like, yeah, those movie theaters. Holy shit. I've never seen pictures that moved like that before. And had voices too, constantly for like hours.
I know, it's actually pretty cool when we're running by it.
Mm,
I actually really want to watch more of it.
yeah, that was the thing.
Maybe I go back there and steal one. Yeah, he's, like he voices his thought out loud.
Yeah, she's
Uh.
doing the proper way of like wiping off imaginary blood from the sword a few times, left, right, grabs it and kind of pinches the sword as she's kind of almost like she's strumming a bow from the the sheath of the sword and the blade before she brings it back up and does a little flick and fully places the sword back in its case. Please don't. Just for that. Make it like an added bonus, but that's gonna be a lot. And I'm gonna probably have to go face the warden again, and I don't want to do that.
I'm
At
only
least not,
joking.
at
And
least
he
not
does a really
warden.
cool he has a really cool flick with his sword. It does a little kind of spin around
Mhm.
that flicks all the stuff off, and then he sheaves it.
Yep.
That was actually I didn't actually really need that. Actually calmed my head.
Yeah, sometimes having a lot of emotion, you just need to work it out. It solves itself. Just, yep.
I do really want to kiss Wisteria though.
Well, good luck whatever happens.
By this point, Zarma walks out of the kitchen. I haven't really seen you clean any of the dishes.
Yeah. You better clean up your act, Zale. She'll call out after you.
Alright. And he's kind of wiping the sweat off on one of his shirt. Alright, let me help you clean.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been in there for a while, so I'll take a break myself. For a bit.
How about I'll do the rest of them. Go take a nap. I got this.
Oh, we'll see what happens.
Uses his haste function to go really fast.
Dishes, no.
Those are fine
Break them all.
chinas! No!
Remember, it's slow for me, so I'm actually doing it at normal speed. It just looks like I'm going really fast. But it's actually not breaking them. It's actually really delicate when he has the haste on.
Oh.
So he just does it double amount of work in double the time.
That
You
is
do
such an
realize that
irresponsible usage of haste, and I love it.
I mean, it also causes twice as much pressure as you would in half that time, or in that same time. So I mean, you might break some dishes.
He's worked now with delicate tools in the same time zones. He knows how to work softly in his time effect.
I like the idea that you go slow enough to where it would have been about the same speed if you weren't hasted.
Yeah.
Pointlessly hasted.
Oh.
Let's see. I want to see.
Summer will eventually
I got it.
see how Babette and Eliza are doing, and then we'll try to pull Eliza aside. How are you two doing?
It's been a really good holiday, I think.
Mind if I have a word with you, Eliza?
It's fine.
Yeah, Darwin will lead you outside where everybody's been hanging out.
As we step out, Eliza's gonna be like, "God, it smells like pot."
I think we could both guess who that was. Anyway. I know your family is great to be around, but I think I heard something about your dad was planning on showing up at some point.
What my mom said, but I guess we'll see. Though I do hope he does. I have an interesting gift for him.
Mm. Did you ask her when he said he would be back? When he said he would be back?
Said sometime later, after everyone ate and everything for sure.
Oh, sorry, I must have asked that weird. When did he tell your mom this?
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't get a chance to ask her.
Hmm.
She's currently asleep right now.
Just anyway, in the worst case scenario where he doesn't show up, I hope he stays alright.
Say that last part again.
I hope he is alright. I said stays alright. I don't know why.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do too.
Seems like your family was close, or is close. I don't know why I said past tense there either. Anyway, I've been looking at a lot of food recently.
Well, I know we seem close. We're close in ways. Kind of hard to explain. I think my family can, in a lot of ways, be as divided as we are close. But anyway, my sisters are wonderful, and I'm very lucky to have the parents that I do.
Hmm.
She's gonna kind of like look out again. She's just feeling extra dramatic tonight. So she's like looking out at the sky.
Besides the occasional pixie, this area's pretty nice too.
Yeah, it's really beautiful out here. Babette and I had lots of fun in this area growing up. There's a lot to see.
Hmm.
How are you doing? How have you enjoyed the holiday?
Yeah, this is actually the first time I celebrated this with mothers around.
I'm happy you're here.
Yeah, I'm glad for the opportunity personally. Lets me know how well I've actually been doing with practicing my cooking.
Well, I think it was amazing.
Thanks. Coming home after being in Fort Valiant for so long must have been fun, to some extent.
Been
Then, of
interesting.
course, all the weird things we've had to do since being here.
Yeah, been interesting being back. It's been a long time.
And of course, thanks for backing us up in those weird moments.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I bored in Port Valiant, as silly as that sounds. And I've always wanted to find out more about what's going on in my family, and there's just always something behind the scenes. And I don't like things that hide behind the scenes. So,
And then we suddenly show up and pull back to see what's behind the curtain in some way.
yeah, you guys reminded me that there's more places to look. So I'm grateful.
Oh, I shouldn't keep you from Babette too much longer. You guys have been having the awkward stare at each other thing.
Oh my god.
Just gonna look away for a second and just
Or you can stay out here, your preference. And then Thurman will start heading back inside.
don't
Oh my
you
god.
mean- She's definitely just like, I don't know, were we standing or sitting? Either way, she's just frozen right there.
True.
Like, what the heck?
Leave it to
Yeah.
Zara to be direct.
Oh, that was beautiful.
It was.
Honey's just been looking at the plants and shit, and then for some reason, as Zara passes by, she just stares at him like, I don't know why, but I feel like I should give you like a high five. Very
Mutual
confused,
respect.
looking at her hand, but I don't even want to like go at it.
Yeah, no, it's all like, well, I shouldn't keep you from her any
And I
longer.
just slowly just has her hand up, so like, oh, you don't want to leave me hanging.
Yeah.
She'll get back to her looking at the plants very scrutinizingly, like, ooh, look at these.
Now Eliza knows that everyone else is like, come on guys, go for it.
Alright.
Now she's even more terrified.
Yeah. You guys just
like,
applied
shit,
all the pressure on her. I was like, fuck.
Being stealthy. Why does this keep happening?
You don't tell the rogues that we see you. Oh my gosh.
We don't tell the rose that we see you.
You can't just ask people why they're white.
Oh, man. Good.
So good. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
It's so
man.
frustrating because I want Babette to take the initiative and just go for it. But she's not there yet, and I'm like so annoyed.
mental health and character growth is just.
It's so
Yeah.
in character, though. Because
I think-
you're a fucking mess.
Oh god, you guys. Babette is such a mess. Like, you have no idea.
I feel like Eliza definitely can pick up on your being overwhelmed. So she's not like she already feels like she's kind of pressed your buttons a little bit.
Oh, it's one of those things where it actually isn't Eliza. It's everything else.
Yeah.
But-
I know, but
you guys
No,
being
I
in
mean,
the holiday
Thurman's aware.
spirit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Thurman's aware, and he's all like, yeah, it sounds like you should hold her close. And then he sees you doing the awkward stare at her thing, and he's all like, you know what, I'll break it up a little bit, talk to Eliza. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go back to the awkward stare at each other thing, I guess.
Oh.
Man, you guys don't even do the freaking awkward. Zelda doesn't even do the awkward stare with Wisteria. He's just more nervous wreck when he goes to talking about something romantic.
Yeah.
He's kind of used to it by now. Like, Zara would see definitely the difference. Like, okay, they're kind of comfortable with each other talking to each other. These two, on the other hand,
I don't know if you're up for the later in the week conversation during cooking things. I'm gonna we can do that later. Actually, in this week.
I mean, I'm down.
Okay. This
But
this is gonna be the intense talk now. So if anybody
I mean,
wants
we
to bring
have
it
an
up,
intense talk.
that's what I'm like. Oh, 2 times. Okay. She's just like,
No
I'm
way.
just here trading. Wait, oh, this is heavy. It's just
Can
like,
I suplex up?
It's like, huh.
Hey man, the snow does something to you when you look at the snow and the flakes and everything. You
Mhm.
kind of see as life as like an existential crisis that you live in.
Hey, do you want to have a friendly sparring match while we celebrate this lovely day of Christmas? Okay, could you please kill me if I get too crazy?
It's like,
he was at the moment where he's just like, he knew he had to bring it up. If he didn't bring it up, he was never gonna bring it
yeah,
up.
so she's like, okay, now that I know that's on the radar, I'll handle it in any way possible. So little did he know she's gonna bring out a huge spray bottle and she's, hey, no, stop.
Spiritual weapon just turns into a spray
I
bottle.
Hey.
Oh man.
Oh, that bloodless no. Oh,
I just thought he's just so, and it really showed like he's just so afraid of that side of him now.
yeah.
Where he wasn't lying that was getting easier to kill. In a
Mhm.
way, he was hoping it was for a good reason, but he also knows deep inside it's also for a bad reason. Because the wolf is sedated when he kills someone.
Yeah. It's
There was
like,
a little hint to that when he was talking to
yeah,
you. He
just
hasn't really
like,
said that to anybody.
yeah, so he's like, okay, that's a new layer.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I don't pick it up because she's high freaking insight,
yeah.
but
She probably has seen a little bit of that, especially after, she
oh
saw
yeah, you've
you
been the
after
closest to him.
Griffin's Perch and both in 1983. She's like, okay.
Oh yeah, he definitely. You've been the closest to him in the fights, so you definitely would have saw him. There's always that kind of like delirious kind of smirk he gets.
A little
The-
bit unhinged.
Yeah, a little bit unhinged.
Don't worry, when Zoe was talking about being afraid of being a hero type of thing, it's all like, oh, I haven't done anything that requires that. I'm like, don't you remember the conversation? It was like, never mind.
he he feels like that you are a hero. He doesn't feel like himself.
Yeah. No, it's a
It's
double
just
standard tip, so you know.
yeah,
Oh, here we go again. Different
yeah,
flavor, different person. Okay, gotcha.
yeah.
back.
No, he judges himself super harshly that he does to anybody else. And honestly, he feels like if you could be the hero and I just help you, that would be fine too. He has a little bit of double standard when it comes to just himself.
He's demoted himself to sidekick status.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. If that ever gets brought up to Mozart, you'll have fun.
It will. He's
Oh,
always said to you. He knows what to do. So he will always he's trying his best to overcome it. That's why he talked to Hani about it. He knows it's a
And you also
problem.
know that Zorman has sat there since he was like fucking 4 dealing with that shit and realized that sitting alone with it probably isn't the best idea. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why he's decided to talk to Hani about it in details of
so
his problems.
then she can be the annoying little sister and be like, hey Zarma, guess what? Hey Zarma. Psst, guess what? Sale doesn't think he's a hero. Psst. I'm not saying it's an issue, but I'm saying it's an issue. So she's like, whoa. The fact that you weren't able to like pinpoint of something the cycle there, she's like, okay, he needs to eventually figure that. Yeah, this is gonna be a work in progress, but I'll file that away for later. Right now, we need to
Yeah,
spar.
Mashad knows the end result of where
Yeah.
he's getting at.
Yeah.
But right now, at himself, like he said, he's only had emotions for 6 months, guys.
Yeah, that's why
For the
she's like,
time-
I'm gonna let you parse.
Don't worry, you just caught up to the Zarman state of it, and
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
great.
So
Yeah, exactly.
she's
He's
like,
Eliza feels very similar.
yeah. He's just. It's a lot if you're really thinking about it for someone just got emotions 6 months ago. All this information and stuff, man,
yeah.
really kind of it gets to him, and he's processing well enough. But I mean, there's definitely down moments he has, and this is kind of more of his down moment. And it's not helping with the freaking beast inside him as well.
She's just like, oh yeah, this is a lot. Okay, yep, this is a lot. And whatever I say might not be the right thing to say at this moment. I'm like, yeah, I will observe for a moment and figure things out. Then,
Yeah, so did you want to do the
yeah, I'm
thing
just
like a little bit later?
what?
No, I mean a little bit later, as in after the party.
Yeah, it's gonna be definitely after the party, like a week or two afterwards. She's just gonna be chilling with you in the kitchen as we're doing that. At Nan's, so I'm just trying to jump into that mindset for a bit. It could be this week, if you know how his mentality is like gauged.
It wouldn't have changed too much further. So I mean,
Okay,
it's there.
all right, so
For Zarman, his mentality slowly freezes over.
okay, so it'll be like maybe a week after or two. So it's just throughout those, she would have just like been in and out, just checking to see how you were. But especially since it seems to be busier with Rue around and Phoebe going out like around, she was just gonna keep tabs just briefly, but then going to the garage and asking if there's anything you want to any food to be dropped off there. So she's doing food runs for them.
Yeah, oh yeah, Simon did have to change because apparently Gwen's doing something different every morning for her training.
Yeah.
So Simon needed to find a new person to train with. So Simon ended up doing the whole telling the Griffin's Guard to set up a schedule of however you like if they want to spar with me type of thing.
Yeah. So.
And then I'll be there for like an hour every morning at the atrium to do it.
Hell yeah.
So, just cycle between their people.
Yep. So,
spar with.
this is probably just one of the days where it's either rainy or it's just really lazy, and she's just chilling in the kitchen with you. Finally going over a few. She would have given you the curry recipe, but then she actually would have pulled out a few other smaller recipes from the area that she would mention that where her father's from, but also where one of her ancestors from too. She calls Tiger Uncle. I was like, oh, he is a master chef when it comes to that area specifically. Then she brings out like, I got these. I mean, right. I never knew how much I took it for granted. She pulls out a few coconuts that, these were around on every tree, if you knew where to look for them. But these are like exotic delicacies over here on the mainland. It's bizarre, but it's good quality, I guess. And it's not the best, but it's really hard for a coconut to go bad unless you really don't know what you're doing. She's just peeling it, cracking it, doing proper coconut techniques.
I'll see what I can do with it, I guess.
I mean, you can't go wrong with curry. It's easy. It's at the store. You can have so many flavors into it, and sometimes I know in certain places they'll say you have to have like these particular herbs and spices, but you don't need too much. You just need it to be simple, and then you add other things into it. Or so I am told. Actually, that's completely a lie. This is the only dish I know really how to make. She does have a little hint of pride in that voice of like, yeah, I'm actually pretty good at making this, guys. But how have things been for you? It's been a while since we've touched base.
At least it's been somewhat relaxing recently, so
Yeah.
I feel like I can breathe again. It's great.
It's always good. Just trying to keep myself occupied as much as possible. Having free time is a weird concept to me nowadays, since I'm so used to a routine. Even when I do have a free time, I just find myself like, I want to experience the day and let it happen and me go with the flow, but other times I don't know what to do with that.
Neither feeling of that seems to be wrong.
Sorry, I zoned out for a bit. What was that?
That neither of those feelings are wrong.
Yeah. I know, it's like I'm so used to structure, then after I just rip my way out of, okay, after she stops for a bit, starts like making just random gestures. Okay, after I stopped having a routine, I noticed the benefit of having it, but then again, creating your own routine is actually kind of daunting in a way. How do you, like, what?
Well, just think of things you like and make a routine with it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like once we start getting some of the things in play, like the training calls, I can at least burn my energy off right there. Because I used to swim a lot, but the river is very cold, I will tell you up front. So that just, put that routine that I was trying to establish on the bench before I can always, and then also the stadium. I can swim in the stadium, but
Yeah, we wouldn't want you getting sick swimming in the river during winter.
yeah, it's yeah.
Someone looks at you as you start going the
Yes. Yep. Just glances back at you. I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't say anything, but okay.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it was only for like 30 minutes, but still, it was not a very fun 30 minutes I would ever want to enjoy again or experience again. I might have sneezed a few times, but still. You can't tell water gymnasty to not swim. That's just... I don't know what that would be considered.
I mean, this isn't really the tropical weather we're used to. It's been fairly cold.
Yeah, I mean, I was tricked by the fact that it's like weather, like the climate is kind of stable here, but I guess that doesn't apply to bodies of water that are outside the Hearthvine zone or whatever city zone, because it was actually pretty warm at Eliza's place too.
There seem to be pixies flying around there too, so yeah.
Oh yeah, it's Feyland. Okay, yeah, I think that's what I remembered.
When did you learn this recipe? Looking back at the curry again.
Oh, this specific one was... wait a second. And she does read it over a little bit. Actually, this is the one that my father taught me. This is when I was really young. Just goes back to quietly cutting things up.
How have you been feeling on that recently? We did have a whole family-oriented holiday.
Yeah, that was, I think, one of the other reasons why I was under the influence that much. Amongst other reasons, but it was good. I'm used to having a lot of boisterous family events growing up. It was slightly quieter when I was on Bedouin, but I did spend time with the monks in certain holidays, and I was able to spend time with my guard, both my bodyguards, but his family and his kids. I mean, they were very boisterous too. So it was good in many aspects, but you did help me out significantly after we talked. I know I don't show it too much, but I have moments where I really have an outpour of a certain emotion or a stubborn mentality, and then I just retreat back and ruminate on it, and then I'm able to at least get a fresh mindset. So you did help me out, at least. I can't let go of things if I don't experience the emotion, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, while things might seem dour with me in that moment, your words do help. It's just know that it's a process of me being able to let go of that by actively reliving those frustrations or whatever it is. It's not the same healthy way from other people, and at times it's not healthy, I would admit, but you can't really throw shit out if you can't. It's like when you go into the fridge and there's stuff that's really stuck in the back. I mean, you can't just look at it and expect it to be thrown out. You have to plug up your nose, make sure you don't breathe and throw up, and you just kind of dry hack as you try to run out into the garbage and throw it outside. So my mind space is
Yeah, I was feeling a little insecure if my words helped you there or not. I'm glad that they did and that you were there with us that holiday. And then Darwin will give you a little hug.
Thank you. She'll give you a hug too. I'm really stubborn. I mean, I'm not as stubborn as other people I know of. It's just there's a lot of things that I say that I need to be reminded of, so don't feel afraid of constantly bringing something up, even if you've said it to me before. There's just a lot of noise in here, and sometimes I need somebody to echo my own thoughts, my own positive thoughts that I sometimes neglect.
Oh yeah, I think you mentioned talking to your ancestors. It must be fairly busy.
Yeah, it has been. But they also want me to start talking to you guys more often, and that's probably the most nerve-wracking thing, because there's that whole moment where you're afraid that people won't accept your issues, or they'll think you're being too whiny about it, or, oh, why hasn't she got over that yet? It's been so long, kind of second guessing.
Anu, I told you I killed somebody when I was 4 and you accepted that. Why wouldn't I accept you for what you are?
It could be really dramatic sometimes. She leans her head on your shoulder. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's see if I don't horribly desecrate the memory of this recipe.
Well, I think you can. You can do fine. Honestly, you probably would probably do a lot better than my first few attempts were of it. And she's sitting down, watching as you're putting stuff away. And not putting stuff away, but just mixing things together. And she'll interject here or there a little bit. Be like, oh, I don't know if you're ready for round 2 of some heavy talk as you're cooking.
No, I'm glad that you'd want to talk to me about it.
Yeah, it's just
What else is on your mind?
seeing Willow, Wisteria's, mother, and okay, I think the terms are mother-in-law here, and on the mainland. She was a soothsayer that hit close to home in many ways. I've seen a lot growing up with other seers. Being a seer isn't easy. No sane mind is meant to parse their divinity or explore the reaches of reality. It changes you in more than one way. You can never go back. After you have that first vision, you never can go back. There's a before, and then there's an after, and sometimes you forget what the before was. And a lot of times, many drugs are involved. Thankfully, I had an incredibly high tolerance. Didn't need to take those extreme measures. But trances are a weird subject. Many people can go into a trance and they can come out of it lucid. That's kind of what the enchantress was ensuring that I was able to do. And I was. I had a talent for it. But on the other hand, that meant I was able to handle the most potent, refined connections to divinity that there is. The tide heart was the thing that we used at the temple for me to have my visions. I'm not gonna lie. The name means something. You can feel it pulse. And after a while, it beats become you. It's the pulsation. It becomes the beat of your own heart. It's constant. It's rushing. It's surging sometimes. It's rapturous. And it kind of just is like the waves against the Bedouin cliffsides. I spent so many years having my heart in tune with it, and then I just left. I was right next to constant, pure euphoric energy, The one thing that chained me to that island. Just like that fishing line being tugged by a weight too heavy, it snapped and I got cut loose and I was falling, waiting to find some purchase. Sometimes I still feel that tug of the tide heart. It's out there, I know it's out there, and it's pulling to me sometimes. It's an emptiness that I don't think can ever be filled. Just like experiencing your first vision, you can never go back. There's a before, and then there's an after. And sometimes you forget what the before feels like. And I left it all on a single night. Minds aren't meant to handle that type of stress. It's a marathon against your own will. It takes time. There's a process to come down from that, and I wasn't able to do it. I wasn't able to. It was sloppy. She's just cutting some of the pieces of coconut in very fine, thin slices. Slowing it down so she's actually trying to make really heavy hits with the knife against the cutting board, just so it's kind of like a clockwork that she knows can feel the vibrations.
Well, there are things we can't go back to or try to pretend never happened. We can always move forward.
Yeah.
It's just finding the way forward is always different.
It is, and it's never a sure shot. It's most of the time fumbling around in the dark. I'm just glad that you managed to burst through a doorway. Probably hit your knees and your shins on so many boxes or tables. But you made it out in the end. And it's a lot worse when you're a stowaway on a ship, trying your best to be quiet, and then waking up in a panic, drenched in cold sweat, with intense nausea, like I was being capsized by a rogue wave, with the room folding in on itself. Healing is never painless. I'm kind of afraid of what painless healing would be. I'm not certain if it exists or not. But I spent a few weeks as a stowaway on that ship alone, in withdrawal, and it was only on one particularly rough night did I realize I wasn't alone. That I was grabbing onto somebody like a lifeline, and apparently it was the cook of the ship. This old woman. She heard me speaking in tongues and hallucinating for God knows how long. I really didn't bother to ask that woman, but she took one look at me and she knew who I was right away. She puts the knives down and shows her your palms. Her ship captain came to me a few days prior to me leaving. He specifically needed the oracle to know when. It's a long story. He needed to have the shipment go to somewhere very specifically, and it was only through my counsel that he was able to find a break in the storm, which I'm pretty sure was Takaroa allowing me to escape that island because I wasn't meant to be there anymore. She didn't ask any questions. She reminded me of Gran in many ways. She just held me throughout that whole episode until the exhaustion hit and I went back to sleep, but she wasn't equipped to handle that. I didn't think she deserved to be dealing with my bullshit. this was 15 years out of my control. What made me think that I deserved any healing by some random stranger that I barely knew? But she stuck with me those nights. It was a really rough few months, to say the least, and I had difficulty distinguishing between dreams, daydreams, reality, hallucinations, and sometimes I still do. I mean, even back then, I shut everybody out, even my own ancestors, and I thought the worst was over if I just boarded up for the storm. But that night when she found me on that ship, I feel like my body physically rebelled and actually cried out for help because it knew I wasn't going to be able to do that on my own. I don't think my sanity could have made it alone on that ship if it wasn't for her. Kindred aren't meant to deal with things alone. It just drives us into the deepest corners of our minds. Healing is messy, it's painful, and nothing feels right until it does. It's okay, and I know it's okay to break down and stumble into walls, because sometimes walls are there to give us a moment to rest, to catch our breath, and let the waves cleanse the tide pools in our broken hearts and souls and minds. But my waters are still muddy, because there's still an extremely small part of me that's still delusional enough to be convincing that early months on that ship I was being punished for trying to escape my duties, but I've come to realize that no, that wasn't the case. People don't deserve to be punished from trying to escape a situation that makes them miserable. I was being told what my duty was by a bunch of people who don't respect the gods, who don't respect me. In more than one way. They made me change for them. My duty is to Kishara and to the kindred, not to a bunch of old crusty greedy people who want the world to be run a specific way. I might not be like a really old lady who's a cook, so I can't say that I can really help you in the way that she helped me, but I can be an extremely crazy seer who's willing to hold you in those moments where you need to be held, okay? And I think I might need that too. I'm also not asking you to, even though you are a cook, I'm not asking you to be an old woman unless you want to be. But I feel like
Yeah, that'd be a little hard.
that would be a little bit hard. I think you could pull off the dress really well, but still. Kind of gives a dry chuckle at that. I don't know what's happening, but I feel like I might need to be hugged sooner or later, and I'm not certain if I will actually realize I'm being hugged. But just listen, but don't listen when those moments happen. She does look like she's staring off a little bit, but also staring at you as she's saying that. I've been having conversations with people that I don't remember, and it's not my normal conversations like I'm daydreaming or I think I had a conversation but it only just played out in my head. I'm saying things to people. I don't know what the cause of it is. I don't know if I'm becoming like Willow right now. But I'm finding writings that I'm doing. I feel like it's my handwriting, but I'm not too certain if it's my handwriting at all. I haven't said
Hmm.
anything to you, have I? She.
Not anything out of the usual, I think.
Okay, just keep your eye out for that. Okay, sorry. I mean, do you think you're gonna try to just switch topics before? She rubs the middle of her forehead for a moment. You think you want to invite Deacon over after you're connected to the lighthouse?
I'd like to.
Or we can, like, invite ourselves over and just give him food. I don't know how busy his schedule is.
I'm not sure either. And of course, if it's any reconciliation, if you just saw a woman who probably shouldn't have belonged where she was supposed to at that moment, struggling, what would you do?
Wait. Just for a moment, just like, wait. There's a what woman?
No, think hypothetical.
Okay, I was actually really. I have seen some homeless people nearby, so that's why I was like, wait, do we need to help somebody? But that's what. Oh, okay, that's the exercise we're doing. Okay, yeah. Oh, gotcha.
You know, any good-spirited person would want to make sure that they're okay.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'd like to
Yeah.
Even though it felt like you were a burden on her, it's a burden that she wanted to carry. And I just believe people want to do that.
Yeah. Goes both ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Okay.
And I'm still not exactly sure. How long were you there at the temple?
She'll give a rough estimate, which I don't know the exact dates of it, honestly, but it would be like in process of like around 15 years ish.
Were you under lots of drugs the entire time, or?
Oh, I only had taken like a few. Like, they introduced us to some drugs and whatnot, but I didn't have to take them. I saw a lot of Qualimana who did. They lost their sanity right away, but it's just tight heart. It's powerful, it's addicting. I was able to see beyond what the mortal eye could see. And there were moments where I had to really learn different meditations to center myself, but once you hear a song, the song of the universe, it's really hard not to be in tune with that. I feel like Willow might have just been. She's constantly tuned to that frequency. She opened that door, and that door just was underneath a bunch of water, and it's just rushing in. And she's in the spirit world, maybe. Her mind. It's disconnected. I mean, I've seen it before, but not at the same time. It's weird. But there was this very particular drug, actually, that was used to help for, preparing me to what a divination sensation would be like. And in that moment, I felt like if somebody told me to do something, I would not be able to have my own agency to do otherwise. If somebody suggested something, I would not be able to heed my own mental screaming. But it was weird. I didn't like that at all. It's like that's how seers can be easily manipulated that way. But that was just one drug. There's many other drugs that don't have that effect. It's just.
Yeah, they were purposely holding you down.
Maybe, yeah. Luckily, I didn't have to take that, but that meant I was complicit the whole time. I was aware of what was being said, and I had to behave and not say anything instead of being drugged up and not possibly understanding what the ramifications of my words were. I honestly don't know if that was better or not.
Well, I mean, they took away your ability to say no. Was it really your choice?
It's the guilt that's left behind, I guess.
Yeah, I've been. Zale had to tell me I needed to stop that thought.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to figure out a way to feel okay about it still. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
I feel what you feel, but I don't know anything better for it.
The one thing that I've kind of figured out over that I've been coming to terms with is that, yeah, even though I honestly, I did have the option to say no. I could have lied, could have fabricated something, or I could have just walked away. But then there would always have somebody else in that place. Somebody else would be suffering. It's a weird, morbid thought. But just hold on with me for a moment. But I took those actions unknowingly because in the end, I can be strong enough to deal with them. I'm not rewriting what had happened. I'm actually finalizing the waves throughout history. I'm going to create something with the momentum that happened to me. Going to push the boat in the current that it needs to go. I wasn't the course or the source of those winds and those waves, but now that I'm free, my feet are firmly planted, and I can move the ship to where it needs to be. It's given me the determination to do that. So I'm not seeing it as guilt now, I'm seeing it as an inner drive that I know is not going to be quelled anytime soon. I want to make sure nobody else has to deal with that. I want to be able to be strong enough so if I'm put in that situation again, I know I won't be having those thoughts again, that I'm up for that challenge.
Hmm.
She's looking at you for a moment, gauging to see how you are, if you're pondering something or not. My passive perception, my passive insight with my bird, hopefully.
I mean, Diamond's just thinking about your words. Yeah, the issue I had is I set my drive too high, and I felt even worse about it.
Yeah,
I'm just still trying to figure out where to put it personally for myself.
I feel like in the moment, what we're both trying to do is trying to be the person who we needed the most when we were young. Doesn't stop the fact that we felt like there wasn't anybody there to save us, but there's strength in coming back and trying to better ourselves and others so that we can at least make this world a kinder place in it. It's gonna be messy. We're gonna be stumbling around in the dark a lot. And who knows what we're gonna be bumping into. But we're gonna be at least out of this room of self-loathing and guilt and feeling like the only way that we can go past our own faults is through suffering, because we deserve it. No, that's never going to be anything, because we're not going to want anybody else who dealt with the same stuff we dealt with to suffer through that. It's easy to see the faults in ourselves and not others. But I think that's what the world wants us to do, or at least the cruel people in the world want us to do. Because once we say no to that, they're powerless over us. When we state that we're not going to stand for that, it's when they're afraid. They want complicit people. They want us to feel sorry for ourselves because that's how they get away with this constant cycle of abuse. When you say enough is enough, when we take our voice and we use it to speak up for others who aren't in that position, that's when they cower. You're very good with your words. You don't need a sword to make anybody feel intimidated. Keep doing what you're doing, Simon. Use that voice and use your compass to say, what I'm saying, I'm not standing for what you're doing. Others are going to follow that, and they're going to be inspired by that. I'm sorry if I'm putting a lot of weight on you right now, but I just want you to know your drive is very strong, but we just need to bring it back to the smallest place right now. Who cares about saving the world if there's people here who need to feel like that they deserve to have a voice? They're having governments, they're having nobility, they're having oppressors tell them that this is the way things are, but we know it shouldn't be like that. We're not trying to change a country or the world, we're just trying to change the lives of people so they can have the strength to carry that within themselves so they can help change other people's lives. And I think if we just think of things in that small frame, life becomes a little bit more manageable.
Mhm. I guess the fear of me trying to use my voice, it makes me afraid of what if I don't say the right thing. So as we stumble in the dark together, can you tell me when I do right and tell me when I do wrong?
I catch.
And of course, as we stumble in the dark together, at least we won't fall alone, right?
Yeah, I mean, if we do fall, I'll probably be swearing a lot, so you know where I'm at, and I'll probably be able to hear where you're going, because you're very clunky. Just makes a motion of just armor around her. But yeah, I'll speak up.
Sermon nuts and should be about done with the curry.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do a wisdom roll.
Yeah, I'll guidance you.
And of course, since you were there helping out Sim.
Yeah, this is the one recipe that she knows, so she'd be like, no, you need to gently just do this motion.
23. It's pretty real good shit.
Hell yeah. Okay. Though I do think you could probably pull off the old lady look, I'm just saying. It's a compliment. I know some pretty badass old ladies in my life.
You can tell Zummer kind of looks at like a piece of glass and sees that he's looking at himself again.
Ah, shit. I'm quite certain. Don't worry about that. Okay, hey, look at me. Don't worry about that, okay?
Okay.
Listen, we're gonna be here. And Rue was talking about that one potion. We're gonna let you reclaim your narrative right now. You had something happen to you, but we're gonna let you have your life back. You just have to trust us with this.
Okay.
It's gonna be scary. But the things that happened to both of us, we're going to flip that table. We're saying we're not letting that happen to us again. We're gonna make sure nobody gets afraid like that. And if they do, I'll be learning a spell to help cure it right away. But just never again.
As long as we try our best.
Gonna try your best, but... And I know I can't bring back the fear, the agony that you've been feeling right now since that happened. But wisdom is a pretty painful process. You didn't lose any years by this. We're gonna help you reclaim those years back. So then, when you actually do naturally get to this age, we're gonna probably, like, flip the bird to a few ghosts that are pretty shitty ghosts, but we'll recognize that there's other spirits out there who aren't that shitty, okay?
I guess the biggest fear of when that happened is I would have less time to spend with people I cared about. And then a terminal, grab whatever utensil you're eating the curry with and put it up to your mouth.
Yeah, thank you. She says. She'll just pout a little bit. But if something like that's happening, just try not to say why me. Just try to say, well, you probably shouldn't have done that because I'm going to do the exact opposite and I'm going to make myself be so much more younger, right? You have an older brother who's very annoying when it comes to time. He was going to eventually find a way to do this.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, don't let the world happen to you. There's going to be people who are going to try to throw us into a loop, try to have us run through hurdles, but they're going to probably be, they won't know left from right when all of a sudden you come back and you've just washed away all the things that they were trying to do to you. You're showing them that they're not bringing you down, that you're stronger than that. I know you're stronger than that. It's hard to see that when we're both in this room in the dark, but we probably look really badass once we actually finally get out of this room. A few bruises here or there, but we're gonna probably look so cool.
Yeah. Well, I like the vote of confidence. It's more of a, I don't think myself strong enough to deal with it. It's more of I'm afraid of what would happen if I wasn't. I don't fight because I hate what's in front of me. I fight because I love what's behind me.
Yeah, so you wanna make sure that...
The strength isn't necessarily my own, it's because I want to protect all of you. I just kept trying to face the world myself doing it, and
Yeah.
Zell even caught on that it was bad.
Yeah. Here's the thing about shields, Zarman, is they always get scuffed up. They're hard and they're sturdy, and they're really good for very specific problems, but they get worn down too. We need to polish you up. We need to Shields need to be taken to Smith. They need to be reinforced. We appreciate that you're there in front of us, but sometimes constantly being behind the shield, you just don't want to keep on wishing. I hope this thing holds up. Just know that we want you to see a little bit more of yourself that we see in you. It's daunting, I know, but...
Well, every time when I look in, I see the things I'm afraid of myself, and I see you guys.
Yeah.
So, when I look in, I see how good all of you are. Thank you.
She'll just lean to your, you'd recognize that this is just a regular genasi kind of, sign of affection where they just lean the foreheads up against each other and just take a deep breath. She has a hand over your shoulder, both of them, which should mention that that's usually just how family, it's like that, yeah, how family are. Sometimes the strength that we see is what the world will be seeing too. We're all a mirror of each other. We're strong because you're strong, and you're strong because we're strong. But we're strong because of love, okay?
Mm-hmm. Hopefully we can get the people of Vaudeville to find theirs.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a lot of self-love, but not a lot of love for other people. We're different.
Well, hopefully the curry was good.
Yeah, actually it's pretty good. I'm slightly jealous, but it's not that hard to actually cook better than me, I will admit. You did good.
Mm-hmm. And just as you say you'll be there for me, I'll be there for you too.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't realize what I say is like definitely blunt and hurting people, so just tell me if I am, okay? And I will tell you if what you said is, you know.
Yeah, I'm just finding myself struggling to notice when I do go.
Yeah.
If you help me with that, that'd be good.
Yeah, I hope you recognize that. I think it's like a lot of years, and she'll just start rambling about, it's probably because I spent all this time being confrontational in order to get on my professors and my teachers' nerves that I stopped to realize I'm probably unintentionally hurting other people in the process. So yeah, she just rambles about, oh yeah, and then there's this one teacher, oh my gosh, kind of thing.
Yep. Sit there and eat the curry.
It's gossiping. She will reveal that she possesses no social intelligence whatsoever.
You don't need to tell me that.
She's like, I'm bad at this shit.
Stop hitting that buddy.
That was